Weingartner to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this morning.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the April 3rd, 2017 meeting of the Shawnee County Board of Commissioners. My name is Bob Archer. I currently serve as chair of the commission and represent District 3 alongside Commissioner Shelley Bueller, who represents District 1, and Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Let's get started. First item, please.
Item 2, unfinished business. Number 1, consider approval of the schedule of fees for use of parks and recreation facilities and participation in department-sponsored activities.
Commissioners, John Knight, Parks and Recreation. The corrections that were discussed at the last commission meeting were made, and that document's in front of you. Be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Questions for John? Yes, Commissioner Cook.
John, I think that we talked a little bit about the Parks and Recs, the swim beach a little bit. Can you maybe give some more explanation on the swim beach?
Absolutely. I'm sorry, I thought we were going to have a separate item for that following this, but I haven't looked at the agenda, so. You're right, I'm wrong. Yes, we do have Sean Osborne. Since we talked last Thursday, Sean Osborne, who's the superintendent of that area, has a little PowerPoint presentation that'll kind of go through and explain to you some of the reasons we made the decisions that we made.
Good morning, Commissioner. Sean Osborne, Parks and Recreation. Just going to give a brief history, a little bit of the. There we go. I just needed to go back if I can. There we go. Okay. 1976, the beach was opened. The Lake Shawnee beach was opened in 76 and upgraded in 1995. The current slide and bathhouse were added in 2004. The slide currently used at the beach is original slide installed at the previous Shawnee North Pool in 94. And sand and age starting to take its toll on the 22-year-old slide and other slide at the beach. Continuous use of both slides has caused the fiberglass to break and spider throughout both slides. Opportunity for review. The original slide at the beach was installed in 1985 when it was a contemporary and popular attraction. The second slide was moved to the swim beach from the previous Shawnee North Pool in 94. With both slides more than 20 years old, sand and age have brought them to their useful life today. One of the main objectives is to look at the attendance as we determine how and where to invest parks and recreation dollars. And as you can see, the trend was going downward with our attendance at the swim beach from 2011 to 2016. The red line that you see, that shows the decline, and there was more than 5,000 drop from attendance from 2011 to 2016. This is one of the photographs that we have taken. As you can see, this portion of the slide right here is where somebody would come in and sit. The water shoots through here. Maintenance staff and that over the past few years have been able to patch and repair most of that slide right there, but as you can see, it's kind of out of our element to do that as we try to go forward. Next slide is another picture that you can see down the way of another portion where we have some deterioration and some other stuff right there. And then this is a spidering effect that takes place on a slide that sooner or later you could see would cause what we saw in previous slides to happen. The Lake Shawnee Swim Beach We charge a fee of $2 per person to make the swim beach available at a low-cost alternative to our feature aquatic centers. Still, as you can see, we operate the swim beach at a substantial loss. But as you can see with this figures here, there's some stuff that is not in theirs, which is landscape, some maintenance, if we have to bring in sand each year. So some of that cost would go up than what you just see as in the slide right here. We still have a low-cost swimming facility nearby, which is Hillcrest Pool, which is only minutes away from the swim beach and charges a $2 admission. We also have 3 other community pools which charge $2. Lake Shawnee Swim Beach, cost to repair. It could cost more than $300,000 just to bring the swim beach back to the present operational state. This includes replacing both slides and the slide pump itself. Opportunity for review. We would like to explore turning the swim beach into an outdoor adventure area. This is in keeping with the recommendations of our master plan. In any event, we are looking towards something bigger and better, more fun for Shawnee County residents and the many visitors to Lake Shawnee. Some of those visitors will be family members of baseball and softball players playing in tournaments at Lake Shawnee and looking for something close by for fun to do between games. It only makes sense to provide an attraction, a recreational opportunity at the lake and capitalize on guests who are already there. Incidentally, while we have been reviewing the operation at the swim beach for several months, we chose this time to announce our recommendation for several reasons. Now, this is a time when people are thinking about warm weather activities, swimming, so we wanted to make the announcement when it was more pertinent rather than sometime during winter when it might be overlooked because of swimming and not being in season. Our review of operations showed that we were not only losing money, but that it would cost hundreds and thousands of dollars to open the swim beach. While we have done some research into what we might bring to the swim beach and upgrade attraction, even if we could have found features and vendors to offer, it would take time to contract with vendors, purchase equipment, and deconstruct what the swim beach now and then construct what is needed for new attraction. This could involve removing part of the dike that is there. We still would be looking at losing a season if we would have chose this direction. I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys might have on the swim beach and the operation part.
Yes, Commissioner Cook.
Sean, maybe you or John know, what was the year that the Shawnee North facility opened with our expanded facility? at Shawnee?
2004? 2006.
Okay. Because I know that your chart showed the attendance dropped really rather dramatically between 2011 and 2012, and I didn't know if we had looked into what causes the drop in the numbers, what we can attribute that to, if we're doing surveys as to why people aren't using.
We haven't done any surveys. Some of the issues that I kind of believe is that we've had kind of a different turn in the customers, and they really like to have the cleaner treated water in some cases, but also nothing new had gone into that facility in a long time. And I think we'll do some other research on some of the other facilities and see if we can see some of those other trends as well. The other thing, too, just to let you know, we are in the process of letting all of the summer camp attendees that are in the Lake Shawnee summer camps know, since swimming is a big part of their activities for the week, that they'll still be swimming. They just won't be swimming at the Lake Shawnee Swim Beach, and we'll be transporting them to our community pools and some of those type of things. So.
Additional? Yes.
Thank you. So if I really take from what you and Sean are presenting is this is an opportunity to rebrand the Lake Shawnee Swim Beach. It's not that we're closing the swim beach and doing away with it, but we're rebranding what its purpose is.
Very much so. In fact, what I would like to do following this meeting is make this an item that I put in front of our advisory board. We're doing that with currently with Gage Park, also with our community centers, all of those type of things, and just see if that's something that our advisory board could provide some input on as well, too.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Just
Yes,
one
Commissioner.
follow-up question. John, as far as timeline, when are you thinking of, are you anticipated improvements, timeline? Will
Well,
it be open next
the anticipated
season?
improvements, the big unknown is money, and I understand the issue that the county commissioners face every Monday and Thursday down here at the county commission meeting. But as far as planning and engaging the public, that's something that'll start over the next couple months. Start engaging the public through our advisory board and through our staff, some of those type of things. But it's something that I would think by maybe toward the end of the summer or in the fall, we could begin to have some kind of idea as to what might be going on at the swim beach to give some kind of direction to the people for the future.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Okay, I'll thank you for the presentation. Good job, Sean, and
We hated to kind of show those pictures of the slide up there, but
Right.
what he didn't really point out is those are patches on patches. This isn't something new that has come up. This is something that each year we've been open and saying, I hope this patch holds. In fact, last year that patch came off toward the end of the summer, and we had to just close that slide down. There's just nothing that we can do to repair them any longer. We can't keep them going any longer.
and that's good information. And as we've talked about, moving forward, we need to make sure everything links to the master plan, and that we look at attendance and participation to see where our customers want to spend their money and want us to invest in resources. So thank you, John. Thank you, Sean. I'll make a motion to approve the fee schedule.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, John. And
Thank you,
again,
Commissioners.
Thank you, Sean. Good job. Next item, please.
Item 3, consent agenda.
Move
Questions or
approval.
comments?
No questions?
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Second.
I move approval.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. That motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk, number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Mr. Chairman, this morning we have vouchers that total $1,140,651.08. Of those vouchers, 6 items, or 6 categories, make up $1,041,044.20. The highlights are AMR disbursement of $77,500, Grace Med, $322,250, JADO, $561,538.54. Health insurance, $26,480.14. Holding accounts with the state of Kansas, $35,840.49. And finally, Parks and Recreation, $17,435.03. And so I do not have any questions. All of mine have been answered. I would move for approval.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Cook. Motion made to approve the vouchers by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 2, A2, consider correction orders.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve the correction orders by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item A3, consider approval of the annual renewal of the MHI Topeka LP tax exemption for 2017. Commissioners, this is an IRB, Industrial Revenue Bond, and this is the new retirement facility up in the north and east of Wanamaker. And this is their first renewal. They pay $12,192 a year in lieu tax. That's one of the differences between an economic development and an IRB. And they have paid it. They have to pay it all at one time. They're not allowed to pay it in two, so they pay theirs on December 19th. And they have met all the other criteria, so just asking that you approve this for us.
Good, thank you. I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. And motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B, Parks and Recreation. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-117-2017 with Technical Application and Consulting LLC to provide services for aerial mapping and orthos mosaic production of 2 locations with a cost of $4,991 available from the Parks and Recreation Administration budget and West Lawn Memorial Gardens Fund.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Knight, Parks and Recreation again. This was one of the preliminary project budgets you approved a few meetings ago. And as the clerk just stated, we'll pay part of that from our operating budget and part of it from the West Lawn Cemetery Fund. Be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Questions for John? Motion?
I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B2, consider approval of request to solicit requests for qualification for design services for the realignment and/or reconfiguration of the Lake Shawnee Trail along Southeast 45th Street, with funding from the Lake Shawnee Trail Fund that has a current balance of $605,000.
Commissioners, we would like to go out for a request for qualifications to have somebody come in and redesign the section along Southeast 45th Street and bring it up to completely meet ASHTO standards. There is money in the Lake Shawnee Trail Fund for this. If you have any other specific questions, Terry Bertles is the project manager on that, and either one of us will answer any questions you may have.
Questions or comments? Commissioner Cook.
John, just as a couple of highlights, this is the section of the trail that dips down rather steeply between West Edge Road and Croco, correct?
East Edge Road.
Or East Edge?
Yes, between East Edge and West Edge, along 45th Street there. Right now, there's some signage there. We require bikers to get off of their bikes and walk their bikes down those those type of things. This is just purely brings that up to the standard that we all want.
And this is where several years ago we had the rather devastating accident with the bikers, and so this is bringing us up to a safety standards.
Absolutely.
Okay. And so it would not then be, I know that when our Public Works Department was working on the improvements to 45th Street, I believe that Tom Vlock had left some area aside if we ever wanted to explore extending a trail down 45th Street. I'm kind of looking at him, but this would not be contemplation of going past Lake Shawnee area.
No, this is just on the Lake Shawnee Trail itself, or the Lake Shawnee Park property itself.
Okay. So I just want to make sure that it's clear that people are aware of what it is that we are contemplating.
Right.
And so again, while we may have set aside an area at some future point for trail expansion, this is not expanding the trail to connect to Landon Trail or any others.
Correct.
Move approval.
Second.
Yeah, I hear more compliments about the Lake Shawnee Trail, and I think that is one of the major reasons that Lake Shawnee has been named one of the best, or the best place to visit in the state of Kansas by Expedia. Motion made by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B3, consider approval of an updated emergency action plan for the Lake Shawnee Dam.
Commissioners, this is an ongoing process that we work through with the emergency management. I'd be glad to turn this over to Terry Bertles to answer any other questions. He's worked close with emergency management on that, should you have any additional questions.
Yeah, Terry, if you would, if you'd give us a summary of
Sure.
what
Good
we're
morning,
doing.
Commissioners. Terry Bertles, Parks and Recreation. As part of our 2016 dam safety inspection report, it was brought to our attention, but made clear that we need to update our emergency action plan for Lake Shawnee. The Division of Water Resources for the state of Kansas has changed their template, and we needed to be up to speed with what their template covered. Our existing EAP also was outdated, so it's just time to do that. I turned to Scott Garcia, Emergency Management, especially Scott Garcia, and the Appraiser's Office, especially Lee Allen, and leaned on them pretty heavily to help pull together this plan. I can honestly say it saved the county thousands of dollars because I also reached out to some contracted providers that would do the same thing. They helped to develop the plan as part of the 2016 DSIR, and we're ready to submit it. It lays out a 5-step process that includes just determining that there's a crisis, the notification process, communication process through the termination, and the follow-up. It's an easy process to follow, and I think it'll serve us well. It also includes a tabletop portion that will kind of require us to be up to speed with our emergency action plan, to go through an exercise at least every 5 years, and I would anticipate more often than that, certainly. Some sort of scenario to work through, similar to other exercises that you might be familiar with, and just kind of keep us up to speed and everybody aware of what the potential issues might be at the lake. And then also it has to be updated every time we have a turnover in a commission, so it gives us a couple opportunities to have it in front of our eyes and get a fresh look at it. With that, I'd be happy to answer any other questions you might have.
I was impressed with the plan. It's very comprehensive, and I was impressed. Any questions or comments for Terry?
I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Commissioner.
Good
Thank you.
job, Terry. Good job. Next item.
Item C, facilities maintenance. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-118-2017 with Professional Fire Alarm Systems for 24-hour fire alarm monitoring at the Shawnee County Elections Office at an annual cost of $365 and funded from the 2017 Elections Office budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Kroll, Facilities Maintenance Director. This contract, apparently we overlooked it back in 2015 as far as contractual agreement with Professional Fire Alarms. Cindy caught that, and we now have it before you. The Elections Office has been paying this, and I've notified them we were doing the contractual agreement via email. Have not heard back from them pro Warcon, but this allows for fire alarm monitoring 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Any
Thank you. I'll
questions
move to
from my-
approve the contract.
Oh, just,
Commissioner Cook?
I'll second, but the Elections Office was notified of this being on the agenda today,
Yes, they were.
and they had the opportunity to be here, and there's no one here from the Elections Office.
Yeah, I looked over my shoulder to see, and I didn't see anybody when I stood up. So.
All right, I'll second.
No question, though.
Yes, Commissioner Bueller.
So this is not an additional hit to their budget, though?
No,
This
they've
is
been
something-
paying it all along. It just hasn't been formally contractual.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook with his duly noted observation, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you,
you.
Bill. Next item.
Item D, Commission. Number 1, consider approval of the disbursement of $288,000 to Grace Med to establish a community health center facility at 1400 Southwest Honduran Street.
Good morning, Commissioners. Alice Weingartner, Grace Med. This letter is essentially a revision to the original letter that had been submitted back in May of 2015 to HRSA when Grace Med was applying for the $1 million Health Infrastructure Investment Program funding. If you recall, they were not funded the first time the application went in, but then funds did become available, and they were awarded that $1 million to be used for capital improvement for a clinic location. During that time, we thought the clinic would be located at one facility, but then as time went on, the Dillon store became available and really is a prime location for a clinic facility. And so in order to update the information that we have on file with HRSA, we wanted to have this documentation to reflect that. So, you know, Dave Sanford, who's not here today, obviously, but he wanted me to extend his thanks for the continued support from the commission, and we're super excited to be able to start sharing the vision for this space. And I'd be happy to answer any other questions.
Are there questions for Alice while she's here?
I have no questions. I'll move approval, but I wonder if she might be able to go into a little bit of detail on tomorrow's activities.
Wednesday's activities?
Is it Wednesday's
Yes.
activities? All right, good, good.
Wednesday's activities.
Yeah.
I sure can. We are going to be having a press conference at 10:30 at 1400 Southwest Huntoon. And at that, we will be talking a lot about Grace Med services, both current and future, and then talking about the vision for the facility and officially kicking off our capital campaign, Project Wellspring. That afternoon, we'll be holding a bare bones open house. If you've never seen a grocery store completely empty, now's the time to do it. We've kind of cleaned it up a little bit, but we'll have some folks on hand who will be able to, again, provide that vision for what the space will eventually become. So we'd love to have you all there,
Wednesday.
and we're excited. Wednesday, yes.
And the fundraising effort is moving forward, I assume?
Yes, it is moving forward, yes.
Good.
Yep.
Good, thanks for the report.
You bet.
Questions? Other questions?
I would move for approval, and I look forward to the activities on Wednesday.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you,
you very
Alice.
much. We look forward to seeing you.
Look forward to it. Next item, please.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
Good morning, Commissioners. Justin Gregory, Kansas Expo Center. Just wanted to give everybody another heads up that Elma was coming to town on Wednesday at 2 shows, 10:30 in the morning and at 6:30 that evening. We have a full slate at the Expo Center this weekend. The Roadrunners are back for their final homestand of the year. Puck drops 7:05 on Friday and Saturday and 2:05 on Sunday. In Exhibition Hall, we're also hosting a gun show. Royal Valley Prom is in Heritage Hall on Saturday night. And the Cowgirl Tough Barrel Bash returns Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Dome Arena. Had some very good news this weekend. We hosted the USTRC Spring Team Roping in Dome Arena. And after meeting with the producers and the organizers of the association, we have been awarded the regional event to be held here in Topeka in August 25th, 6th, and 27th.
Great.
So
Excellent.
if anybody drove by the Expo Center yesterday, you could see the parking lot was full of horse trailers. So they're all coming back in August.
Good deal. Good deal. Thank you, Justin.
You bet.
Others for administrative communications. Commissioner Cook?
Well, Commissioner Archer, I know that there's something on TV for you to watch tonight, but before you get there, make sure you watch the Royals, because that's the only sport that really matters.
Thank you for the clarification, Commissioner Cook. Nothing? I just wanted to mention that there will be a discussion beginning at 11:45 today at the Health Agency, Health Department building to discuss the health rankings. I lately skip the editorials in the Capital Journal because they've become so repetitive. But I did look at one yesterday that said, assessing our county's poor health outcomes. And the last paragraph basically says, although the report cautions against misinterpreting each county's rank, there's ample evidence that many of the health-related problems in Shawnee County are, in fact, getting worse. Acknowledging the severity of these problems is necessary if we want to address them, and the county health rankings help us do this. This is very important that we have a long-range, comprehensive discussion of these ratings and what we can do about them. We might want to consider a new approach. We might want to consider new leadership. We might want to consider a lot of things, but we've got to make changes in the way we address health issues in Shawnee County, in my view. Next item, please.
Item 6, Executive Session.
There's not a need, so we are adjourned.